Hey there, outdoor enthusiasts. This is HuntNerd, your source for water cooler wisdom, all the latest news and goings on from the world of hunting, fishing, shooting, and the outdoors. It's episode 29 of our show. It's recorded on Friday, October 5th. And just a reminder for you folks, if you're listening on one of your smart home devices, make sure that you remember you can always go and catch this on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel there. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you can also remember you can always get this information on demand through your smart home devices like Google Home and Amazon Alexa. All you have to do is say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play news from HuntNerd." You can get this information 24/7 on demand through those devices. Here's your outdoor news for this weekend. Bear Archery recently announced the release of their flagship bows for 2019 through a brief social media blitz. Included in the release were the Divergent, the Revival, the Kuma 30, and the Perception. Each of these bows comes in weighing less than 4.5 pounds out of the box and boast speeds of at least 320, a couple of them upwards of 350 feet per second IBO. Perhaps the most interesting about this lineup is the Perception, which actually shoots the arrow through the middle of the riser. So there's actually kind of a hollowed out riser on that bow, and the arrow goes through the middle of it. It's really kind of a wild design. For more information or to see pictures, make sure you stop by our Facebook page and check out the link that we have posted there. Also, wild fur prices are rebounding after about a 2-year slump. Particular furs that are seeing an increase, or expected to see an increase, include coyote, fox, raccoon, marten, wolves, and other things like that. Certain water species, beaver, otters, mink, those prices are still depressed. They're a little bit lower yet. But the first 2018 Fur Harvest Auction at Fur Harvest Auction Inc. Was hosted recently, and a bunch of those prices are expected to go up. Prices on things like coyotes are actually, the furs for those are actually expected to be as much as 50% higher than last year. It's a good thing for all you fur trappers out there. Also, some sad news. Goose calling legend and famous call maker Tim Grounds was recently killed in an ATV accident. He was riding the ATV on an embankment, spraying some weeds on his property in Illinois when the ATV rolled and landed on top of him. Sympathies go out to his family and his friends for sure. When he didn't return to camp, his friends actually went out in search of him and found him pinned underneath the ATV. Grounds was 60 years old at the time of the accident. And our bonus story for today, a big win for California hunters. Governor Jerry Brown actually voted in favor of many hunters out there in a recent law where he vetoed a bill that would have outlawed the possession and importation of certain big game animals legally harvested in Africa. Listed in the bill were things like lions, leopards, rhinos, elephants, and about half a dozen other species as well. Safari Club International released a statement recognizing Brown for this decision, one that was somewhat unexpected for those of you paying attention to many California hunting and gun laws. But Brown actually stated in the bill in his decision that, like many others, this bill was relying on emotion and not scientific facts and what was best for the animals. That's your outdoor news for today. This is the Professor at HuntNerd reminding you to make sure you check this information out on all your smart home devices and on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, and like we always say, if you're going to hunt, hunt smart.